Hey, so here we are. We're in Inkscape. Okay, Inkscape is a free program that you can download from the internet, and you can offer a donation if you like, but you know that's not my part to tell you what to do. I'm just here to help you create a template. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna go over here to this toolbar to the left of our screen, and we're going to click the A right here. Okay, click that, and we're gonna make a text box. Okay, and you're gonna type in whatever you want to do. So I just typed in love. Okay, LOVE. And I'm gonna come up here. After I click this, I'm gonna come up here to this top toolbar, and I'm gonna lock that. I'm gonna change this over to inches so I can know how big my design is. And I'm going to pull it from the bottom right hand corner until I reach my desired height and stuff. Okay, after I've done that, I'm gonna go up to the top where it has all these lovely words, and I'm going to click path. After that, I'm going to click this first box right here and make an object to path. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to come back to our image and right click and go down to ungroup. See that right there? Right there. Boom. And it has now ungrouped our letters from one another. From this point, you want to, whatever you're going to do is what you're going to do. If you want to move these around, you can. If not, then you don't have to. I don't know why my computer decided to stick on that. Please hold. Alright, so now that we got that situated, so they're ungrouped, right? So what you can do is you can now manipulate these however you like. So whatever you want the letters to look like, then that's, that's what we'll do. I'm going to actually make these two touch. I'm going to do the same with my L and my O. So I'm going to just click them. Alright, and going to kind of just bring them together. Because love is about togetherness. Right? Okay, so. And I'm going to shift and click so that I can have these two together. From either you can use your mouse and you can drag them, or if you want, you can use the shift key and then you can just use the arrows to help you move these a lot faster. Okay? So this is what I'm going to do for you today. I'm not a singer, I'm sorry. But here we are. So we have our design. So now what I want to do is either hit Control A, or I can just highlight the whole thing. So that was me hitting Control A, or this is me just highlighting the whole thing. Same difference, right? And after that, you want to go up to... Sorry, I was just making sure this is what I want it to look like. Yeah, it is. Actually, I want this a little bit closer. Okay. And after, we're going to go up to path, and we're going to hit combine. And this is just, if you work in Design Space, this is just kind of like the welding option that's in Design Space, okay? It just, makes it one whole object after you've ungrouped and separated everything. Okay, so remember, make sure, go back up here, and now you can see how big your project is again. And if you want to resize it, then go ahead and do that before we start making the template for it, okay? So here now my design is a 5.342 by 7.193, and that's in inches, okay? So we have that done and down. Now I'm going to come back over here to our toolbar that's on the left, and I'm going to click this square. And it's going to help me create rectangles and squares, okay? We can click that. And I'm going to go just change the color real quick. I like to have a color that like pops out because it makes it easier. So I got orange, right? And it shows you the color of your box right there. So I'm gonna cover the whole design like so. I'm gonna go to object, And I'm going to go to lower to bottom. Okay, because I want to see my my image. After that, I'm going to make a circle. So I'm going to go over here again to the left to our toolbar and make a circle. Voila. And I'm going to pull it. So if you have, you know, both of your hands, then you can hit the Control Shift and drag to make your perfect circle. But because I don't have both of my hands present or, you know, available at the moment because I'm holding the camera, I'm gonna just make an oval. I'm gonna click my arrow and I'm gonna go over here and I'm going to unlock this. I'm going to change this to millimeters right there, and I'm going to do a 3.1. Okay, 3.1 by 3.1. And this, the 3.1 will give you the 10 SS for your rhinestones. Okay. All right, so there we have that. We have our image, and I want to see that in inches right now. Okay, I'm gonna click on my circle, and once I have my circle clicked, I'm gonna come down here to where it says fill at the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to right click on this fill and I'm going to click unset fill. Unsetting my fill makes it black. If you do not unset your fill, one of these steps will not work. It'll be the step where I have where we have to copy the color and delete all the excess circles, because it won't blend in. It'll just be without unsetting the fill and keeping it as the color, it'll keep it as one color consistent throughout the whole thing, and that's not what you want. So this is an important step, to unset the fill of this circle. Right, okay. Oh. Alright. And so here we are with our set and fill, and we're going to take our circle. So you can either drag it over or shift and arrow it. So I'm going to shift. I'm going to make sure that it's past the left of my image and over the top of my image too. Okay. And for the purpose of this, I'm actually going to make this a little taller so I can see. Okay. There we go. So it is past the very end of my my V, and it's above my L, which is what we need to happen. Alright, now after we have done all those steps, we're going to go up here to edit, and we're going to go down to clone. And once we're at clone, we're going to go to create tiled clones right there, second slot, and click enter, or just click it with your mouse, whichever you're going to do. And this little handy dandy screen will pop up. Alright, so for symmetry, we wanted to say P1 simple translation. Okay, it has a drop down menu, so if it doesn't pop up like right away, then you can just, you know, pick it from the drop down menu right there. Okay, and to make our rhinestones, we're gonna come over down here. You can either do rows and columns. If you do this one, it kind of takes a little more effort and thought into how many you think you're gonna need. Kind of makes you put in some guesswork. So the rows go down and the columns go across, right? So you could put like, oh, I want 100 rows and 70 columns, and you would just have to wait and see if those columns and rows match up to fill your whole design. So what I prefer to use is the width and height, because I can just change this over to inches, and I can go over here to my design, my box, and I can see that it's 7.016 by 9.072, and I can literally just type that in down here. You can copy and paste, or you can type it in. So I want a width of 7 and a height of 9. Okay, so there we go. Alright. Okay, boom. We're going to go back up here, and we're going to go to shift. Okay, you don't, these two look the same, right? You don't want to get those confused. I want this all at 0. Okay, if you do scale instead of shift, it will it'll make your circles get progressively bigger. So think of having a 1 millimeter circle, and then a 2 millimeter, and a 3, 4, 5, etc., going all the way down your design. You do not want that. So we want to make sure we're here in shift, and for here we want the per row in the Y to say I'm gonna say about 30 or 35, or you can do 40. So this basically is telling the system how far you want your circles placed from one another. Okay, so I'm gonna do 35 by 35. I played around with it a little bit with some of my other designs just to see what I preferred. 50 was way too far. 20 was very, very close. And 40 was okay, so I'm gonna try 35. Okay, and then we're going to skip over all these other things, and we're going to zoom right on over to trace. And what you want is for this box to be checked, trace the drawing under the clones and sprayed items. From box 1, you want to click color. Nothing should be in here. And then for box 3, you want to choose color as well. And this is already inputted because it saved it from the last one, okay? And now what we want to do is we want to come over here and click our circle. Your circle has to be clicked. If you have anything else selected outside of your circle, that's what it's going to clone and make a million of. Okay, or okay, not a million. I'm being excessive, but yeah, you catch my drift. So we have our circle clicked, and I'm gonna come and I'm just gonna hit create. Sometimes you'll get the not responding memo because it is creating, let's see, look, boom, there it is, because it is creating a lot of circles. But see, there goes your circles, right? Cool, amazing. So what we're gonna do is we're going to highlight these excess circles that are here. Highlight, delete. I'm gonna close out of this because we don't need that anymore. And I'm gonna highlight, delete, right? Because we don't need these. And now I'm going to come in here. I'm going to click anywhere in my on my orange, anywhere. I'm going to come right down here, back to fill, right click, and I'm going to copy this color. Okay, after I copy the color, I'm going to hit the Control F button, and it's going to open up the find and replace. And in find, I'm going to click and I'm going to paste what I just copied of the color, right? I'm going to come down and search in, and we only want to search in properties, okay? And I'm going to click find. Let me come out so you can see what it does. And once I clicked find, it found all of that color. Okay, boom. And we have to exit out of this. I'm gonna show you, if you don't exit out of this, nothing's gonna happen. Like, literally, this is what's gonna happen once I hit delete, because you want to delete all these circles. But if I don't exit out of that, that's the only thing that's gonna happen, is it's gonna delete that in there. Okay, so make sure you exit out of this. Now I'm gonna hit delete, and it's gonna take away everything. And we can also delete this little black dot right here. Remember that you can change the font, all those things that you want. Okay, well, here we are again, not responding. Okay, cool. Now what we are going to do, I'm gonna zoom in on this because it makes it a lot easier to do this next part. So, and so now it's about cleaning up our image and making it into what we like and what we want to see. You can, so all these excess circles around the side, you can typically delete them. If you hold the shift button down, you can click multiple circles at one time, or not as you go, and then you can delete them as a whole group. Okay, so You can also highlight, you know, boom, and it'll show you what it can delete or what it'll move. But so what I'm gonna do is I want to be able to find my background word love, right? But what I found to be the easiest is to zoom in as close as possible, and let's see, and just click the image so you can see where there is no circle, right? So there it is. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna just change the color. You can drag it away or you can change the color. I like to keep it on there so that I can know what you know, what my letters are looking like up to the image that I had already made, okay? Okay, so here we are. Let me zoom out so you guys can see what's going on. Hit that good 100. All right. So I'm gonna clean this up. I do like things to be even, so for me, sometimes I try and see like what my other side is looking like and try and match them up. So that's me. You know, I held everything right. So if everything has like 3, I try and make sure it just has 3. So even I'll keep this the same, so that's fine. This even has 3. I'm gonna take this one off. This off. I did not mean to click that off, but I want this off for sure, right? And let me see. And you know, like I said, you can manipulate these, move them over, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel best for yourself. It's easier to work with this zoomed in, so that's what I'm gonna do. Zoom this in. Okay. Okay, see, we just delete away, delete and move around, manipulate to what makes you happy. Okay, march to your own drums. Okay, boom, 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 boom. All right. See, you see how that's working out for us so far? Is that I'm just deleting and moving over. You can highlight and you can move over. You can manipulate it by just using your keypad. Whatever makes you feel best about what's going on for you. Okay, that's what this is all about. Okay, boom. Alright, so our V is all cleaned up, right? And so I want to show you what it looks like when you hit the shift key and you're clicking your dots. So it won't be, you know, all of them. It's whatever you select while you're holding it down. And then you can hit the delete key, and that's what it'll delete. Okay? And delete the dots that you want. And if you know that's not what you want to do, Control Z, and it'll bring them back up. Alright, so once your design is all cleaned up, what you want to do is get that image from the back again. So just zoom in as much as you want until you can see it, okay? And you want to, now you can zoom back out and you want to drag it down. There we go. Drag down. Alright, now that it's dragged down and off, you want to go ahead and highlight all of your circles like this, and we're going to go back up and combine this, okay? Path, combine, or Control K. It's just going to take a minute because it's a lot to work with. Alright, so here we go. That's our image combined. Now we're going to go back and make another square. And we're going to just make it, this will be our flock. This is what's going to, it's going to cut out on, like, back to. Okay. And I'm going to change the color so I can see again, right? And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to object, and I'm going to go to lower to bottom. And after it's lower to bottom, you want to go ahead and just move this out the way. And you want to select both of these images together. Let's see. Click and then shift and click. Okay, shift and click. And you're going to go up here. If you want, you can center this. Center the images. But that's all up to you, honestly. You can make this smaller, you can make it bigger. But, oh shit, not that. You don't want to make the image, you don't want to adjust the image, you just want to adjust the bottom one, okay? Okay, but then, like I said, you want both of these selected, and you want to go up to path, and you want to go to difference, okay? And that's what it's going to look like once you hit difference. So that is your image, and this is what's going to cut out in Design Space, and it's going to have all your pretty little circles for your beautiful rhinestones, alright? And you're going to, you can highlight both of these images, so Control All, and you're going to go over to File, you're going to go to Edit, and resize page to selection, so that way when you import it into Design Space, you'll get both of these images. Okay, this one and this one. And when you save it, you want to come up here, File, Save As, title it, and you want to save it as Inkscape SVG. Save. Boom, 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 right? Because if you don't resize it, if anything is outside of this area, outside of the rectangle, it won't convert over to Design Space. It just won't. Okay, so that's what you need to do there. And then once this is once you saved it and you go ahead and exit out, and you move over to Design Space, you won't have to edit anything. It'll literally just be 1 and 2, and you can go ahead and ungroup and either delete this or just hide it because you won't need it. You can cut this out on cardstock. You can cut it out on flock. And if you use cardstock, you just use the cardstock setting, and if you use flock, there is a setting for flock as well on the Cricut maker, because that's what I use. I don't know about any other of the Cricut brands, but you know, good luck to y'all on this. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. If you have any questions that I can answer. Also, I want to say, like, shout out to the makers of Inkscape, because they do have this beautiful help tab up here, right? And it comes with a manual, keys, tutorials, and like if you hit up the tutorials, like literally, like, it shows you the basic shapes, advanced, like all this stuff. You can do calligraphy, like this for a free software. Like, it's super dope, y'all. So shout out to the makers of Inkscape, the program. I appreciate y'all, and what y'all doing. Okay. Like I said, let me know. I hope this video helped you guys, or you gals, whoever's watching. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate y'all reaching out. May God bless y'all. You know, it's much love, for sure. And, you know, here's to a prosperous new year.